What up? It's the Real Ones. Howard Beck, senior writer for The Ringer.
Yo, calm the fuck down, Howard.
Wow.
Calm down.
Well, hold on. What? It's Logan Murdock.
It's a voice from the past.
He's back.
Guys. Calm down. All right. Yeah, okay, I'm back.
I just got used to this shit.
Hey,
it was fun.
Chill.
I like doing intros.
Hey. Throw me the ball. ISO. Everybody get the hell out of the way. Yo, what's popping? Real Ones. Logan Murdock here. Raja Beal there. Howard Beck in the motherfucking cut. What up, Cliff? What they talk about? Nothing. What they talk about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talk about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talk about? They ain't talking about nothing. Peekaboo. I'm back.
Jesus.
What's going on?
Christ,
What's up,
bro?
Ra?
Listen, let me give you a little NBA etiquette, man. You've been on IR for like 2 months. Motherfuckers have settled into the amount of shots they're going to get, the roles that they play, and you just go hop back in, no practice, no warm up, and just you practice.
Raza, so I've been playing a lot of pickup during my time off, right? And I have assumed the role of I'm gonna shoot that bitch every time I get it. Every time I get it, no matter the result. Shout out to all my partners at the Yap in Berkeley. I have been putting shots up. I have probably gone 6 of 37 throughout my time in pickup. But of those 37, 4 of those shots were big shots.
They were
to put us in there. To put us in the mix to win the game.
What's
2 of those shots were 2 threes from like far as fuck, and they went in to just set the tone for the game. Other than that, also you'll be very excited. Or I don't know how you'll feel about this, but a couple weeks ago, somebody had me messed up, and I took a charge with the game on the line, and rightfully so.
In a pickup game?
I did in a pickup game because.
You were not rewarded for that.
I was joking. It was a joke because no, I did it, but it was a joke towards somebody else, and they rightfully didn't give me the possession back because they were talking stuff about like them getting hacked or whatever, right? And then I was like, bro, if you getting hacked, call your foul, right? Just like, and I was on this big mother, right? Like big, like them football player type dudes that be playing basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Big body.
So I said, if you gonna call your foul. As I was talking shit during the game. And I said, if you go call your foul, as he's posting me up. And I said like this, and I took a perfect charge. And then I did like Joey Crawford. I hit my back and I went the other way. But as I was saying that, the dude had hit this game.
That's tough.
So that's what I've been up to.
I love the bait into an offensive foul in the pickup game. Like that's nasty work.
I knew I wasn't going to get it. We had already won 2 of the first 3 games, like 2 of the games or whatever, and I was tired, but like I did it. I was petty. You respect the petty.
The setup, I do. I've often told you, like I'm not going to out petty me if I have anything to do with it. So
Virgo boys, bro. You're not going to out petty us, dog.
I can appreciate the pettiness. Also, generally speaking, H-back, like I don't know, like, but you don't need to be talking to me about no damn fouls in pickup. We don't have to talk at all. Call the fucking foul. And keep it moving. If you don't,
I just hate a complaining ass motherfucker, bro. Because what he was doing was like he would like not call the foul in the moment and be like, y'all hacking the shit out of me. Well, like just call your fucking foul and shut up, bro. Like and take it up top or shoot for it. Like I don't know. Like I'm sorry. New year, new basketball pickup basketball etiquette.
Well, welcome back, man. Welcome. Howard, you played basketball lately?
Me?
It's like that would have been that's like you and I are in the same boat then. Who, me? What? No.
I think we covered this a few episodes back when we established that after blowing out my knee in a ill-advised game of pickup while being guarded by Tim Bontemps, I'm not doing it again. And that was a good more than 10 years ago. I ain't doing it at this stage. Logan, I here we were led to believe that you had all this time off to take care of your new baby. Congratulations again. I didn't know you had time for all this pickup, honing your skills, upping your usage rate.
It's called setting a schedule,
All right. Yeah, how is that schedule going? We need some baby rundown here. Like, what's the sleep schedule? What's like, were you guys like, are you co-sleepers? Were you doing the sleep training? Are you swaddling? Are you using white? No, like we need the basic facts here, man.
Ain't no co-sleeping out here, bro.
That's good. Co-sleeping is done.
What is co-sleeping?
Co-sleeping is when you sleep in the bed. When you sleep in the bed with your kid.
Bad idea. Oh. And then they get used to it.
As infants, as baby babies?
As baby babies. Yeah, no, like I've known people like as when you become a parent, I'm figuring out one, you get into this whole new world, but like also people just start telling you, it's like you unlock a new world of information that people just start telling you shit. Like I've heard people that like co-sleep with their baby till like 3 or 4 years old. No sir, not me.
No.
But so they're sleeping 9 hour stretches. Shout out to the little homie out here.
That's
overnight.
crazy.
That's awesome.
Good for
you. You know what I mean? We out here. Like ain't no games being played over here in this household.
How's your diaper changing technique going?
Diaper changing technique is on point. I've been changing this diaper since his ass was in the hospital. I was one of the first. I did the first diaper change out here. Real G shit. Another thing though, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this, but I was very surprised about just how casually babies shit. Right? Just how like they're in the middle of like baby conversation with you, like and just smiling and all that stuff. And then you just smell this just foreign ass fucking smell, bro. And it's just it's terrible, bro. But they do it with a smile on their face. And you wouldn't even know it happened unless you felt the on your legs as you're like holding them up. It's foul, man. It's real foul how they do you. Because they're still smiling and you're like, oh, they're cute, but also this is the foulest thing that anyone's ever done. That's what I'm trying to get used to. You know what I mean?
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. One last thing though.
No, go ahead.
I think we might have a hooper though, because we got Raj's like stamp of approval. I sent a picture of the follow through very early on, and I don't know. I think it might have a shot. I think he might have a shot. It was like an early like look, like maybe this dude might be something. I don't know, but like he had the follow through.
No, it was a beautiful swan neck though. Like it was, it really did have it was picturesque.
Yeah, it was catching
as Rivals.com and Rivals.com and Draft Express like put him on their like prospects to watch list for like 2040 or whatever. Like,
I don't know, but they should. He needs to go to Florida like when he's of age and just have like the Raja Bell like
straight to
summer
IMG
training camps. You
straight
know what I mean?
The academy.
The Raja Bell elite. He needs to lock in with them.
No, he don't need me. He just needs to hop in with the fellas. Fellas will be gone by that point. But like, we just gotta we have a daily like boot camp here, bro. You just bring them, drop them off, and my four will just shepherd him around from station to station. They'll hit the weight
beat him
room.
into submission, just like literally, like this is what you're doing. You're part of the gang now,
sink
bro.
or swim, my boy.
I don't care that you're 4 years old, bro. Get these shots up. Stop fucking playing. That's what we doing.
That's how we're rolling.
But no, it's been cool, bro. It's been cool. It's solid, man. I'm juiced. I didn't, I haven't listened to much of the rules, but I listened to like the first episode, like back just to check in, just to hear my guys. And I remember Roger saying something about like the first time they send you out of the hospital, like with no manual, they're just like, yo, bye. Goodbye. Have fun. They don't even like help you strap in. This is help you strap the little homie in. It's just like bye. Like,
yeah.
Like what the fuck?
That's a scary moment. That like wait, I'm in charge of this thing now?
Oh, dude.
I'm like
the only moment scarier than that for me was when we actually got home and the people that had waved goodbye to us at the hospital weren't at the house when we got there. So now that shit was clearly just me and
like all the adrenaline, like, oh my God, it's like so tight. I'm such a new parent. All that adrenaline leaves when you get to the crib. It just leaves.
Straight fear, homie. Straight fear.
Yeah. So, we locked in though. We're here. We still alive. We still got bags under our eyes. We thugging. I'm sorry, bro. We probably gonna have to pour one out for Roger's Phoenix Suns. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, it's tough. It is what it is. Go from new ownership syndrome with Matt Ishbia out here trading every pick under the sun, unintended, for Kevin Durant, and then trading every other pick that he has for Bradley Beal with a no trade clause and expected shit to be good, right? And now, like I know I made the argument last year, and I heard that Raja like had high hopes for his Phoenix Suns this year. I had hopes that like, hey, maybe with a full training camp, maybe they'll be good. I think it might work, right? But now there is some stuff going on in Phoenix where the vibes are off, where people are dissecting now that KD and Devin Booker are working out, and they're just shading Bradley Beal. That's what's going on the socials right now, and they're not working out together. It's feeling kumbaya, and then they put Bradley Beal to the bench, and he's in trade rumors. But hey, he has a no trade clause, which is wild to consider. I don't know why the Washington Wizards would ever give him a no trade clause. They gave him over $200 million. But now he is coming off the bench. He has scored 25. He says that he has not heard anything from the team involving trade rumors, but, quote, if so, I need to be addressed because I hold the cards. Until I'm addressed and somebody says something different, then I'll be a son. That is wild coming from Bradley Beal, who has done like little to nothing outside of April in the NBA. But like, what do we go from here, right? Because he's right. Like, you can't do anything. You can't do anything unless he okays it.
He was literally correct. He was accurate.
He was literally correct. But the Suns, I'm like, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it, but you didn't have to make this trade, and now this was always going to be the result if things went bad. Now, what do you do from here?
You try to get him to where if it's really that bad, then you try to get him somewhere where he wants to go. What that gets you back in return, all the moving pieces, so on and so forth, I have no idea. But it's literally your only option. So I don't know what you do.
But I feel like the jury is still out. I mean, the jury is not still out. We know what Bradley Beal is. Like, his name is his name. We know what is going on here. What team is going to bite on that? Because he's still going to have the no trade clause, unless I guess we might be able to negotiate out of that.
I don't know how much is left on the contract. What's the contract at this point?
I think like 3 or 4 years.
It's like it's another 3 years at really high numbers. I mean, I'll look it up while we're talking, but it's ridiculous.
And I'm not sure for sure, but like, can a team negotiate? Is he going to have that no trade clause no matter where he goes, or can they negotiate out of it? So like, he's hard.
It goes with him unless he waives it. He has to waive it to make it any trade at all. He could also choose to waive it permanently, but there's no reason for him to do that.
Yeah, why would you? Right.
I would do
that. And so the next team ends up with the same problem of like not being able to move him or having it be very difficult. He's making $50 million this year, $53 million next season. And then one more year, a player option, which he will absolutely take because he's never getting this in free agency. His player option in 26-27 is for $57 million.
So he'll be a son until then.
Yeah.
Unless
they'll be when Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are gone, they're going to be building around Bradley Beal.
Yeah. No one's trading for the numeral, like the value of the contract, let alone the no trade
clause.
Come on,
man. The Washington Wizards just strike again, right? Like, well, I don't even know why this is even a thing. But like, with that being said, like, there's clearly bad vibes with the Suns. He's not going anywhere. How do you mitigate this situation? I don't know how you do that.
Howard.
I was talking to somebody. Whose team played the Suns. Let's just say semi-recently, and I was like, "Is this about like? Is this personnel? Is it vibes? Is it chemistry? Like, what is it?" And it's just like basically like the response, the answer was basically just like, you could just see everything is fucked up, and like this team is just like they don't seem to be playing for each other or playing hard. It's like the impression that this person got is that this thing is not salvageable. And the Bradley Beal thing is interesting too, because, like this theory that they benched him to make him want out is kind of strange. Like if you want to, like he's got the no trade clause. So if you really want to move him and you need his cooperation anyway, why are you trying to alienate him first or make him uncomfortable? Like I'm taking that as a straight basketball move, not as some sort of Machiavellian plot to get him to ask for a trade. But even then, like the Heat, everything goes back to the Heat and Jimmy Butler, right? Like the Heat are not trading Jimmy Butler for Bradley Beal, and that's the only way he gets to Phoenix. There is buzz around the league that the Phoenix thing, it's real in the sense that I think the Suns want him, and it's real in the sense I think that Jimmy would love to go there. It's not real in the sense that like there's no two-way trade that can be done without Beal, and there's no way the Heat are doing a deal for Beal. So it becomes, is there a third team? Is there a team with cap room that could just absorb Beal and some trade assets from somebody? And it's probably not like the Suns have no draft assets to trade really. So can you create a multi-team trade where Beal lands in like Detroit or Utah or somewhere where they're just like, they don't care whether they win or not?
What does Bradley Beal want though? Like
exactly. And then
situation?
Beal has to still welcome that. Like, you create this multi-team trade to get him to a team with cap room that doesn't mind.
But like, does he want to be the guy? Does he want to actually win? Does he want to like?
I know.
I just feel like when he came there, it was like all this talk of sacrifice and all these things, and that's the thing that happens a lot in sports, right? Like when you talk in the press conference. I've been watching a lot of Wire, Raja. So I'm just going to make a lot of Wire references.
Mm-hmm.
The dope on the table press conferences when everybody just the welcome dope on the table press conferences every time we see, they always talk about sacrifice and all these things, but it takes a real like hooper and a real teammate to actually, when it's time for sacrifice, to actually go and do it. Like there's a world also where Bradley Beal just goes to the bench like, I'm just going to kick ass off the bench, and he did it on his play against Cliff Sixers. Sorry, buddy, but like he did it with his play, but like that could have been a galvanizing moment in my mind if like. You go for 25, like, I'm about to do this. It's a great win. We're about to keep this going. I'm cool with getting off the bench if it means being a winner. But, like, I don't think Bradley Beal actually knows what it takes to do that because his actions suggest he doesn't.
Well, it's a huge topic, and there's a lot that goes into it because we're placing all blame on Bradley Beal right now, right? And like, there's a lot that goes into that, Logan. There's a lot that goes in. There's a lot in between me standing at a press conference saying all the right things. And let's just say, for argument's sake, I really genuinely mean them, and I'm not just fronting for the press conference, right? Like, I have every intention, on living these raps. And then fast forwarding to now, and everything has fallen apart, and I look like I never wanted to live those raps in the first place, and it was all bullshit. There's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot that goes into the time in between that, from just an organizational standpoint, like a clarity of vision and articulation of that vision, the communication between the stars, the front office, ownership, agents, the day-to-day just work environment, personalities, how they work together, whether or not you start to faction off like into little cliques when you're on road trip. There's so much that goes into like having a player feel a certain kind of way about his role, that it's hard to point a finger. You know what I mean? It just is. And I'm not saying we are clearly where we are, but I don't know.
Shoot Brad some bail, to shoot Brad some bail. See what I did there? To shoot him some bail. Well done. I don't think Phoenix's infrastructure is the type of infrastructure to be able to absorb that type of trade. And I think we kind of knew that in the back of our minds, like when the trade happened, because Devin Booker, like, kind of needs an alpha by his side to win. Like, we've seen that. I mean, not to win, but like he needs that in order to be successful. We've seen that with Chris Paul. That's the most winning he has done alongside Chris Paul, an alpha, right? And KD is kind of the same way. And even if this is quote unquote Devin Booker's team, he's still kind of like, he takes a backseat to Kevin, but Kevin isn't going to be this alpha person. Like, we've seen that throughout this time. And so that constitutes a locker room that isn't like equipped to be able to define roles, because both of the superstars are like, well, like, here you go. Like, oh, there you go. Like, they're just very passive in that way when it comes to leadership. So I just think, like, that's where I'm just like, this is going to be a tough thing, because there's not, you need a good balance of strong personalities and other personalities, and they just don't have that right now. They don't have that mix. But they have superstars, superstar ability, but they don't have the other side of that.
Look, I mean, we've had this conversation on here before. I've had this conversation. I've had this conversation with head coaches before. I've heard the conversation on other networks and whatnot before, in regards to like superstars and their game and leadership qualities being, equal to each other to some degree. And even if you are a leader, like, I believe Kevin Durant to be a leader in his own way. But he's not, I don't know that he's the vocal guy. I don't know that he's the backbone of your locker room type of guy. Now,
he's the guy to pull you aside, right? He's the guy that's like, yo, come here, man. Let me holler at you real quick on the low.
This isn't like, throwing shade at all.
No.
This is like different people lead in different ways. But when you get a mix of personalities that are that big, guys that are that accomplished individually, you have to find a guy. I've spoken about this before, that does have the personality. KD can be your leader. He can be a leader. If he does it quiet, great. But you're going to have someone that has the personality in that locker room that is kind of, magnetic and is able to, kind of tether everybody together and get people, to understand and reach across those, lines of the different little groups that we have going on. And I just don't see that in Phoenix. And that's why I said, like, there's so much in between the press conference and now that it's really hard for me to point to exactly where all of this shit went wrong. And it's not just on the court. So like on the court, we could do that, but off the court, it wouldn't be fair to me to just throw all of it on Bradley Beal because I don't know. And a lot had to go wrong.
And I think another thing, I'm going to throw this to Howard. Like, I think that's the other thing that we see with like the new owner syndrome, like to call it, right? And Matt Ishbia like wants to make a splash, right? Like wants to do all these things, wants to settle scores, win a chip, right? Like he wants the glory fast. But I think this is a lesson. Like there is something to be said about just because like was the ink. I don't even know if the ink was even dry on the his ownership when he made the deal for KD. Like I feel like there should have been at least like let's have a few meetings. Let's see what our team is and what this team actually needs, as opposed to like let's go get a big fish. Like let's figure out like what we need, and this is going to be a very hard lesson for Matt Ishbia because it's going to take a minute for him to rebuild this. Short of like trading KD and Devin and then building the team around Bradley Beal.
Ishbia closed that deal to take ownership of the Suns. Like it was like a day, 2 days or whatever before they made the trade for KD.
Because that
like
deal was already on the table because they were going to, before the season, the Suns and before the 22-23 season, the Suns and the Nets were talking, and then they table talks.
But it wasn't happening under Sarver's ownership, right? It wasn't going to happen until the sale happened. So here's a fun sliding doors moment in the NBA. What if Ishbia's deal got held up just another couple days longer, and he doesn't take control until after the trade deadline? Does Durant, because Durant had asked out, like, do the Nets send him somewhere else just to get that headache removed because he had made the trade demand, and Kyrie's was that same week. But Ishbia did take control just in time, did make a very rash, very expensive trade, and then doubled down, as you mentioned, with the Beal trade. And yeah, here they are. Like it's definitely a good lesson for owners. Not that the next billionaire owner who comes in swaggering, thinking they know basketball and they know everything because they're a titan of industry in some other in real estate or hedge funds or whatever. They walk in on day one thinking they know it all. And from all accounts, I've heard plenty of other good things about Matt Ishbia, but like it was clear from the moment he did it that this was very rash and very risky. And I admired it on some level. Like I admire the belief and the boldness, the aggression. Just go get KD, one of the greatest players of all time. Cool. But the Beal trade, they never needed to make.
The Beal trade was worse. I think the Beal trade was worse.
For sure.
I could talk myself into getting Kevin Durant all day long. Like, fuck Kevin Durant. But to get Bradley Beal, because also there's another thing, and I don't want to like harp on the Bradley Beal too much here, but like, I think with a guy like Bradley Beal, him going on a contender, there was going to be a learning curve that I don't think a lot of people appreciated to play on it consistently good at the next level. There was going to be a learning curve.
Well, you have to play consistently. Yeah, but you have to play consistently to even have that, right? And to build that chemistry. He's missed 10 out of 34 games so far this season. He missed a ton last season because he always misses games. And you knew that going in. You knew he was expensive. You knew he had a no trade clause. And you know that he gets hurt a lot. Yeah. And that he's never really been part of a winning program at a high level. So like they could have been, Chris Paul was the centerpiece of that deal along with a bunch of picks. They could have just broken up Chris Paul into multiple other pieces to give you depth around Durant and Booker. And instead they went all in on Beal and then left themselves really handicapped in terms of their ability to get role guys. And that's been the problem ever since. And here they are. By the way, fun footnote, not fun for Raja Bell or Suns fans. As of right now,
in Florida, he's fine. He's fine.
As of right now, at 16-18, the Suns are slotted 9th in the lottery odds and the draft order. And that pick goes to Houston. So
it's nasty business, bro. It's nasty business.
Not great. Although they're no, only slightly better off than the Sixers, who are Rash's other old team, who have the 8th best lottery odds, 8th in the draft order, but that pick's going to Oklahoma. So
title contenders, baby.
Yes, sir.
Oops.
I can't wait to talk about the Sixers in the backstretch of this season. Wait.
Hold on, let me ask a question. Could they get good enough odds in the lottery that what are they protected by?
I think these are unprotected. I think both these picks that I just mentioned, Suns and Sixers, are unprotected.
Wow.
So that's according to, I'm looking at Tankathon. Love Tankathon, but they do not show the little lock next to either of those. And the lock is usually if something's protected, that little symbol is not next to either of those. So I believe those are fully.
I got one word for that. Yuck.